Hi, my name is Dennis Siri. I am Executive Director and founder of the New York City Independent Film Festival, Independent in Spirit, International at Heart, and this is the New York City Independent Film Festival Meet the Filmmakers podcast. Join us while we meet this year's filmmakers. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, welcome to this episode. We're here with Grace Smoley from the music video Found Me. Welcome, Grace. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Greg. So I'm a filmmaker. Ever since I was 5 years old, I fell in love with film. I would go on my dad's MacBook and create videos with the photo booth app and really just fell in love with the concept of production. And throughout my years in lower school, middle school, high school, I continued to expand on that. Currently, right now, I go to NYU for filmmaking, and my passion is making commercials and music videos. So right now I've done work for numerous artists in the music space and some cool up and coming brands for commercials.
All right. So in some ways you already answered it, but what made you want to be a filmmaker? Like what was that impetus? Why did you go into your dad's computer?
I honestly don't really know, but I kind of been thinking about it recently, and I truly think I started film because of Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey was just like a huge inspiration on me growing up. Even though he's an actor and I'm a director, I saw the passion that he had on sets and just the energy that he brings, through his comedy. That I think that's what made me fall in love with film.
How many films have you made? I guess this.
So I've made, in high school, I made a bunch of short films, probably made about 4 or 5. But more recently, with commercials and music videos, I've probably made 8 to 10 music videos, and I'm just starting out my commercial process. So I only have 3 under my belt right now.
That's quite impressive.
Thank you.
All right. So I guess you're going to NYU Film School. So my next question is, do you have a group, your tribe of filmmakers that you hang out with? I guess that's a pretty obvious answer, but why don't you
Oh
answer it?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So currently I'm a senior in my last semester, so I will be graduating in like a month from now. But over the 4 years, I uh, kind of created with a bunch of my friends this great film, community, a smaller film community in terms of the commercials and music video space, because a lot of the film kids here, are more narrative and follow that short film path. So it's very hard to find people that want to do music videos and commercials at Tisch, surprisingly. So, my friends Michael Columbus and Chris Smith, Devin Nicotero are great kids, and I pretty much try to bring them on all projects that I do, and they try to bring me on theirs as well. So it's a great community that we have.
That's great. That's good. That's what you need if you're going to be successful. All right. So what did your family say when you said, "Hi, I'm going to go to film school"? And they said, "Oh, we're going to pay for tuition for you to be a filmmaker, huh? How about an accountant?"
So my family was actually very supportive of the filmmaking career path that I wanted to follow. They never at any point, questioned that or asked me if I would rather do something else. My family's always been behind my back throughout my process, which I'm extremely lucky to have.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
What made you decide to make this film, the this particular Found Me? Like, was it that you heard his music, or did he get in touch with
Oh,
you?
absolutely. Yeah, so Deacon was someone I met through a mutual friend, and he also goes to NYU for in the Clive Music School.
Mhm.
And the way we just met and we just bonded over the fact that we're both creatives in the space. I do music videos, he's an artist, so we immediately bonded over that. And he showed me his album that he was going to release, and I fell in love with this certain song, and we just agreed to do it and to make this music video happen.
What was the hardest part with making this movie, and what was the most fun part of making this music?
The All right, I'll start with the hardest part. The hardest part, realistically, I would say, is not within the production, but just getting the shoot going itself. So, I've worked with a bunch of musical artists, and a lot of them are kind of hesitant to, go into a production and start a production. So it takes a lot of work on the director's side to really lock in a weekend that won't change. And, you know, because musical artists like to go with the flow, and that's obviously not really possible for a high production music video. So that's, I would say, is the hardest part for this specific shoot, locking in a weekend with him, that he was available, and because he's very busy as well, and just making it work on both ends was something that was a challenge at first. Luckily on set, we didn't face any major difficulties, and I would say that was actually the best part about the shoot was this was a 2-day shoot, and the second day was a studio day. So there was a lot less company moves between different locations. We stayed in the studio all day, and it was just fun for everyone, and everyone had a blast and genuinely no complaints. So that was probably like the best part of the shoot.
That's good. All right. We're actually buzzing right along here. You've given us, I'm almost at the end of my questions. All right. I don't know if this pertains to you, but in the indie film world, you're not going to buy a mansion being in an indie film space. What would you consider success in the indie film world?
I would consider success in the indie film world as something, yeah, like you just said, it's not about money, because it's not going to happen. You're not going to get a crazy mansion from the indie film, making an indie film or something like that. But what I do think it's the, you know, a lot of people have answers like, oh, it's how impactful your work is and stuff like that. Well, my answer is how far your work can spread. How many eyes can see your work, not for fame or not for, I want, you know, an ego standpoint, but just it's, as an artist, you want your work to be seen. And I feel like that's very important for every artist out there. And success in the indie film world, you know, would mean, you know, winning a big festival and having your work be actually appreciated for once. Because I could tell you, every artist, it means the most to them when people sit down and appreciate their work.
That's true. And okay, last question. So somebody comes along and goes, hey, Uncle Gray, I'm 12 years old and I'm decided I'm going to become an indie filmmaker. What would you say to him?
I would say, advice-wise, the whole thing about the filmmaking process that I've learned is it's really all through connections, and the connections you make, the friends you make, what you can do to really lower a budget on a film set, and that's really developed through connections. I'll give you an example. On one of my most recent music video shoots, we got an Arri Alexa camera, Arri Alexa Mini for free. And that wouldn't have been possible without the connection. And obviously a camera like that could go anywhere from 1,200 a day. So it's all about finding the right connections. And you know, for a 12-year-old, you have the time to really get into different communities, really build out your connection base, and, you know, just make sure that you're always looking out for people that you work with. Because the connection's not going to go far unless you really take care of the people that you're working with, and you really all go up to the next level together.
Okay, so your basic thing is go for it, all out.
Yeah, my basic thing is, you know, like fully go for a movie, start making, you know, there's obviously different other things of advice I could say, like in story development, you know, just what's the next step to making the film and starting off the process, but you can figure that all out. I think the biggest thing that you can't necessarily figure all out is the connections, and that's just something you have to form yourself, because you can figure out how to make a movie, and you could, you know, figure out and learn, you know, online is a great method of learning how to do certain things, and you can really develop your entire film kind of by yourself if you want, you know, as a student project. At least in my case, I never really had a team of producers, you know, managing my short film in high school. I kind of just did it all myself. But having the connections, like I said, as you exceed that level, is going to be really important to making sure that your work improves.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you very much. You were awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'm assuming we're going to see you in June.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to be on Friday night that weekend. It's going to be June
Perfect.
4th to the 8th, so it'll be June 7th. All right. Thank you.
Sweet.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.